to rise for his Vice President. Thank you. The national anthem, please.
The board chairman, National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Professor Senator Ken Ugumba Nnamani GCON. The Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadija, the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, the Honorable Minister of Water Resources, Professor Joseph Talmon Usep, the Director General of the Institute, Professor Ayo Omotayo, and his dear wife, Dr. Mrs. Elizabeth Omotayo, representatives of the service chiefs, the management staff of the Institute, the directing staff of the Institute, participants of the Senior Executive Course 47, members of the fourth set of the ring, honored guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This annual tradition of hosting some of the finest minds this nation has produced and learning from their inquiries into the foundations of our national ambition is always a profound moment for anyone entrusted with public responsibility. You cannot solve the problem you do not understand, nor can you confront a challenge that has not been studied with the rigor it deserves. When scholarship fills that vacuum, governance gains clarity, and the nation becomes grateful for the knowledge you provide. That is why I said here, without any equivocation, that we deeply appreciate your intellectual contributions, administrative foresight, and the patriotic duty you continue to fulfill. There is no doubt that you have paid your dues to the nation, and so it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this presidential parley on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as we receive the report of the research undertaken by participants of the Senior Executive Course 47 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies on the theme Blue Economy and Sustainable Development in Nigeria, Issues, Challenges, and Opportunities. The work presented by Senior Executive Course 47 provides valuable awareness of the opportunities we must seize, the challenges we must confront, and the policies we must refine. I commend the National Institute for sustaining its tradition of analytical rigor, creativity, patriotism, and selfless service to the Nigerian state. Your findings reassure us that the blue economy stands today as one of the most promising frontiers for Nigeria's economic transformation. It offers a strategic pathway for diversifying our revenue base, creating sustainable employment, and strengthening community resilience and revitalizing the ecosystem that sustains our national development. If properly harnessed, this sector will become an anchor of shared prosperity for generations yet unborn. Nigeria possesses an extraordinary array of aquatic and marine assets, an 853-kilometer coastline, extensive inland waterways, rich fisheries, vast coastal wetlands, and an exclusive economic zone that situates us at the strategic heart of the Gulf of Guinea. These are resources many nations will covet, yet as your report has indicated, we are not fully nor efficiently harnessing this immense potential. Your study has shown that countries with similar assets have transformed their blue economies into engines of national growth through innovation, technology, strong governance, and environmental stewardship. Nigeria can achieve no less. We can build a thriving aquaculture industry, modernize our ports and maritime transport corridors, revitalize coastal and ocean-based tourism, unlock renewable energy potential, and expand marine biotechnology. These opportunities lie within our grasp if we will act with discipline and intentionality. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR remains committed to structural reforms that expand the possibilities of new sectors of growth. The blue economy, therefore, is central to these national aspirations. We have made significant progress. This administration has established the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy to reform port management systems, strengthen maritime security operations, and support private sector expansion in water transport and logistics. Still, acknowledging the vastness of this sector, we recognize that more work lies ahead. The insights provided by Sec 47 will guide us as we refine our strategies and deepen national coordination. The President has directed all relevant ministries, departments, and agencies to study these recommendations with immediate effect and prepare for timely implementation. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, no economic vision can flourish without adequate and sustainable security. The prosperity we seek on our seas and waterways rests on safety, order, and stability. While the Deep Blue Sea project and enhanced regional collaborations have reduced incidents of piracy and maritime crime, other threats still persist. Oil theft, illegal fishing, smuggling, kidnapping, and vandalism continue to erode revenues, undermine investor confidence, and endanger our citizenry. Beyond the maritime sphere, the nation continues to confront complex security challenges on land. Terrorism, banditry, communal conflicts, economic sabotage, and cyber crimes require vigilance, strategic adaptation, and unified action. These threats are real, and this administration is taking decisive steps to address them. Security, however, is not the sole duty of our armed forces. It is a whole of government and whole of society responsibility. As Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR remain resolute in providing our security agencies with the resources, platforms, intelligence systems, and political support required to restore stability nationwide. But security also demands foresight, coherence, and continuous analysis. As the nation's apex policy think tank, the National Institute carries the responsibility to anticipate emerging challenges, examine critical trends, and generate the knowledge that feeds strategic decision making. Accordingly, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I am directing the Institute to assume an expanded mandate in support of our national security architecture. NIPSS is hereby tasked with conducting a comprehensive national security diagnostic study and developing actionable policy recommendations to guide this administration in addressing operational gaps and governance weaknesses across our security landscape. The resulting policy paper shall be submitted to my office within an agreed timeline, and I assure you that it will receive the utmost attention and be thoroughly evaluated for implementation. NIPSS must continue to serve as the intellectual engine of our national transformation. Your work must be bold, solution-driven, and firmly grounded in Nigeria's realities. This administration stands firmly with you. As we reflect on today's deliberations, let us renew our collective commitment to building a Nigeria that thrives on knowledge, innovation, justice, and shared responsibility. The blue economy offers an opportunity to craft a new development narrative. Our security challenges offer the opportunity to reorganize and strengthen our resilient structures. In both areas, NIPSS will remain central to our national journey. On behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I commend the Director General, the management, faculty, and the participants of Senior Executive Course 47 for their dedication, discipline, and intellectual courage. Your work will guide our decisions, shape our reforms, and also reinforce our resolve. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us together build a safer, stronger, and more prosperous Nigeria. The task before us is great, but our determination is greater. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Is the blue economy and sustainable development in
Nigeria is huge challenges and opportunities. And in the past 10 months, participants have been preoccupied with research, both field and documented research on the theme. They have traveled to 7 states of Nigeria. They have visited 14 countries outside Nigeria, and they are here with the report of their findings. Mr. President, sir, without much ado, I want to invite 47 participants to make the presentations of their findings to Mr. President, ably represented here today by Mr. Vice President. Thank you very much.
This highly intellectual report. There we go.
Appreciate you, and of course, all participants of Set 47. Mr. Vice President, presenting.
Special thanks to FICOS, honorable ministers. Special thanks to FICOS, honorable ministers present here, the chairman of this board, DG. Thank you very much. On this note, like I said, thank you very much, Mr. Vice. We can exchange pleasantries outside. What have you
Me, I don't finish.
When are you then they wait for make you say don't
Thank you.
This executive does actually work on something very important to this nation. The federal government just created a ministry, Blue Economy. So how do you think your reports can help the government to achieve this, the aims in that sector?
Well, thank you very much. Given that we were given 96 participants from various sectors of the Nigerian economy to work with, I can assure you that all that we have found in the last 10 months will be very useful in that sector of the Nigerian economy. The ministry will benefit immensely from the recommendations and the implementation strategies we have raised. If you listen to the report, we had different sectors for the ministry to look into, and I'm sure that the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy now knows exactly how to proceed in implementing what the objectives of Mr. President was in setting up the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. You will find out that in the report we have seen the areas of overlaps, we have seen the areas of conflicts across various agencies, and we believe that unless we solve governance problem, a whole lot of investment that would have come into that sector will not happen. With what we have done, you see that I also give Mr. President the roadmap of how to implement all the recommendations. With that, we have a step-by-step guide on what we need to do to ensure that the marine and blue economy contributes what it's supposed to do. Mr. President is looking for the economy to do $1 trillion by 2030, and we have identified this sector as a very critical component of achieving the $1 trillion economy that we choose to do. So I am sure that by the time we begin to disaggregate what is in the report, all the various sectors of the economy and the subsectors, the subnationals and the rest of them will have a concise and clear path in ensuring that we develop our blue and marine economy.
Insecurity is something that has bedeviled this nation for quite some time, and the president gave you a new mandate to look into that area. What's your take on this new mandate of the president?
You see, one thing I'm always excited about is that Mr. President recognizes what we can do at NIPSS. I want to assure you that there is no security problem that we have not examined at the National Institute. Now, with this renewed mandate, I want to assure you that even within a very short time, we will come out with proposals that will enable us to solve these problems. The problems of insecurity are actually dynamic. We have recognized that at the National Institute, and it has several parts to it. That is why in the past 2 years we have been preaching that beyond confronting bandits and the rest of them, we should also look at some other peace-building measures. Some of them just basically have a grudge against the Nigerian system. Some don't even really want to see Nigeria go down, but they just are doing that to attract attention to themselves. But I want to assure you that with this new mandate, we'll come out with clear recommendations that I'm sure if Mr. President gets them, and with the courage that he has and is able to implement them, the problem of insecurity will simply fade away. If a part of what we recommended here is that on our inland waters, we still also need to do a whole lot of security work, because we have found that some of the assets that they use against the Nigerian people, they come through the inland waterways, and we think there's need for more attention on the inland waterways and also our big lakes in Nigeria. Yes.
Thank you, DG.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.